All right, so on the topic of making things work, we got this kind of support pillar in the center here. Oh, I see what the dog is barking at. Got this support pillar in the center here, and as you can see, it's not doing much supporting. Let me see if I can get a closer view of that. I mean, this has just been buried under dirt for however long, and it's all rotted out. So game plan is, you know, like I said, we're gonna make it work. We're not gonna run to the lumber yard because I don't feel like it. I'm gonna cut this up high to get all this, take care of all this rot, get it out of there. And then I purposely didn't film my chainsaw action because you could probably write a book of all the things I was doing wrong with the chainsaw. But we're gonna, you know, we came up with this log here, and the idea here isn't to do this professionally right now. The idea here is to buy me more time to prevent the roof from, you know, collapsing. Not that I think it's going to, because it hasn't so far, but you know, just because I'm gonna bury all this so in gravel this time, and so on and so forth. But before I put a new roof on this place, I just want to keep it kind of together for now. So that was a lot of rambling to say. We're putting a band-aid on the problem. We're gonna jack it up a little bit and make it work. All right, so that's kind of where we're at now. We got the bottle jack in there now. The astute amongst you might observe, you know, basically what's the point in doing this? I mean, it's a pretty bad band-aid, but you know, I don't really think this pillar here is supporting just about anything, because for however many years it's been rotting out. You know, there's the cross section. You see there's basically no structural value in this anyway. So, you know, the whole idea is just making improvements, however small they are. You just keep making a bunch of improvements over time, and eventually you got something that's usable. So we're going to jack this up a little more and, you know, try to fit this in here kind of on the shelf, and I'll screw it to it, and then I'll probably have to cut this log down a little bit more, but we're gonna make it work. So this just kind of goes to show you, this is supposed to be wood. I mean, it kind of is wood, but you see how rotted it is. It's just, I mean, it's basically nothing. So it's kind of what we're fixing. Not really fixing, but addressing. I'll put a piece of plywood here, put the jack under that, be a little better. We're gonna have to go back to the chainsaw and take a little bit off here. I want this to sit right here on the concrete. So, and I want it to kind of carry the weight on this terrible shelf that I built with my chainsaw. And so what I'm gonna do is probably just have to take off maybe about right here, roughly. It's all very roughly done. All right, for those of you watching, I'm not sure why you are again, but you know, just kind of want to show you the final product here. We got this little toothpick peg leg situation going on here. And, you know, before I could come up and I could just rock this post back and forth. Now it's, I mean, it's bomber to me. It's actually holding some weight. So, you know, it's a small improvement, but let me take you through the thinking here. Because, you know, to be honest, I think this is exactly what this project needed, is just some egregious monstrosity, you know, like this here. To, you know, something about working around this crap just really motivates you to get the work done. So yeah, so I mean, I got, like I showed you the shelf, I got it sitting on the shelf here, and I started running these 2-inch screws all around this. And you know, ideally if I had like some 5 inches or something, I could probably go whoosh, straight through, but again, it's a situation where I didn't have it. So I'm like, you know, screwing into rotting wood here, and so I'm like, it's probably not the best. So, you know, what is the best? Zip ties. So I put a bunch of zip ties around here underneath this terribleness, and then, you know, I'm thinking, you're probably thinking like zip ties to hold a structure together, and you know, I would also feel that way, but they're Harbor Freight zip ties. So, I mean, arguably structural zip ties, if you will. And then I'm looking around the garage and I'm like, you know, there's gotta be a way to improve this, and I'm thinking, you know, some hose clamps around the whole thing, but I don't have any hose clamps that big. So, you know, we opted for the old packing saran wrap, and to me, the force to separate these two is like you know, like it's got to be at least 2 tons. I mean, this looks pretty bomber to me. I don't know, they really should just start doing all houses this way. This is beautiful. And so the thing is, anytime you're doing any type of like structural stuff like this, you definitely want the inspector to come look and tell you if it's to code. So, you know, we got the inspector here, and he seems to be saying everything's good. I mean, he hasn't really checked this area specifically, but oh, there he goes right there. So I mean, yeah, he's really taking a close look here. I mean, that to me, that's a pass. He didn't even, you know, it's like when you're at the airport and you got something in your bag and the dog comes up and, you know, gives it a sniff and moves on. That means you're good, right? So to me, that's good. To me, that's better than it was. So hopefully it's pretty obvious that I'm being sarcastic, but you know, it's been a few weeks now since that last clip was filmed, and yeah, this thing, I mean, pretty solid. Can't really shake it, so it's definitely carrying some weight now. Whereas previously it was kind of just free floating and not really doing anything. So kind of need to take a break from the project for a few weeks, just due to a medical situation. I'm not allowed to lift anything heavy, so you really won't be seeing too much of the project, but I will get back to it eventually, and hopefully, you know, I mean, the next part that I got to do is pretty boring. Got to haul all that gravel inside and get all this dirt out, you know, the other way around. But yeah, so you're not really missing much, but I'll check back in at some point when all that's done and we can move on to what's next, which I haven't figured out what that is yet, but we'll figure it out then.